reading the understanding of a spiritual mystic. Very fun. Spiritual LightPath is the mystic. One of three. There's the balance, mystic, and warrior. So, spiritual mystic. Shall we start this off first with our affirmation? I am a spiritual mystic. I am strong, steady, and wise, and I choose to relax and trust. Spiritual mystic LightPath. As a spiritual mystic, your gift to the world is your spiritual exploration, actively elevating humanity's spiritual energy. You are connected to source energy and to your higher self. You have a talent for the written and spoken word and can communicate your spiritual experiences. You have a deep need for solitude and quiet private time. Your core energy as a spiritual mystic is spirituality and connection. This core energy represents those positive core values deep within you that create an expansion of your energy. That creates positive, connecting feelings. So being a spiritual mystic means exploring the religious and spiritual beliefs of others, and then deciding what you will believe in. Being a spiritual mystic means making spiritual exploration acceptable to others. Being a spiritual mystic means sharing your findings, new understandings, and mystical experiences with others. Being a spiritual mystic means understanding that your beliefs will change over the course of your lifetime. That's exciting. So who am I? Who is the spiritual mystic? I respond to the world through my connection to that bigger part of me. When I am connected to what I believe in, I can trust that guidance. I get into difficulty when I don't trust my connection and overthink or allow my heart to get in the way. I need to make time to nourish my connection. Mine is the spiritual soul path. I am a spiritual being. I know that I am more than my physical body. I know that I made a deliberate decision to have a physical experience on earth. I know what I believe in. I know the answers to the questions, who am I? And what am I doing here? At my best, I am willing to talk of my beliefs to others and allow them to create their own set of beliefs. At my worst, I am judgmental and unwilling to accept different beliefs. I may be allowing, or I may be dogmatic. I may be humble, or I may be arrogant. I may be unassuming, or I may act superior. I have a real need for solitude, for quiet, private time. This is my time to reconnect with source energy, recharge my batteries, to strengthen myself for the task of raising the spiritual energy of the world. I sometimes have real difficulty living in the here and now of the physical world. I have strong personal charisma, which attracts others to me, but I can't tolerate superficial personal interactions. I am terrible at small talk. I am hard to get to know, as I am a very private person and tend not to share my innermost thoughts or emotions, except on spiritual matters. Unless with a select few trusted friends, I can. And I will. I am highly intuitive and understand nonverbal communication. What am I doing here? My joy is to promote people's beliefs in something bigger than themselves and show them how to understand their connection with God and with source energy. I understand my own connection to God and source energy and use this understanding to inform, inspire, and stimulate and elevate humanity. My talent for the spoken and written word allows me to communicate in a personalized way so that others understand my message. There are 3 beautiful women in my life that I am so grateful and lucky to have who are spiritual mystics. And for what I have read just this far, Dr. Deborah Ford, the creator and founder of the Soul Path teachings, is one. You can see in her work. The other is Kathy Yost, beautiful, beautiful woman who's a mystic and has chosen to say yes to her exploration and life. And my other lovely dearest friend, Jessie. Jessie writes the blogs. You can read them on our site at the Soul Path Institute. I'm very lucky to have these 3 women, and these 3 women are really living their spiritual mystic. They really honor it. So some other spiritual mystical soul path characteristics. So talk about beliefs, raising spiritual energy of the world, understand nonverbal communications, show others how to connect with source energy, inform, inspire, elevate humanity, talent for communication, know what I believe in, highly intuitive, promote belief in source energy, know that I am more than my physical body, need time to reconnect with source energy. So who is the spiritual mystic? People with the spiritual soul path are inherently strong, steady, and aware. You are spiritual observers who are wise, have faith, and are mystical explorers. Your superpower is your extrasensory perception. Special gifts and greatness for the spiritual mystic soul paths are enlightenment with strong beliefs and one who needs quiet. So an understanding of enlightenment. The spiritual mystic is an excellent communicator with strong personal charisma and a talent for the written and spoken word. You have the ability to make ideas, thoughts, and feelings known to others so that they can understand. You can help make intangible and difficult concepts easier to understand. Sometimes you need a bit of encouragement to communicate, to speak, and to listen, as you are just as happy being in your own world. But when you do speak out, you communicate in a personal way that is easy to understand. Being a spiritual teacher is an incredible life skill. You help others understand. You'll be seen as a very intelligent and well-spoken with leadership qualities. You embody being humble and unassuming. Ultimately, your life will be about raising the spiritual energy of the world and promoting in a belief something bigger than ourselves. When you talk about your beliefs, you show others how to connect and inform, inspire, and elevate. The spiritual mystics are teachers. Isn't that lovely? What have you connected that understanding by knowing what the word teacher is? Something to ponder. Beliefs. Spiritual mystic has firm opinions and beliefs. You certainly don't need outside validation for who you are and what you stand for. You know what you believe in, and you have personal strength. The spiritual mystic understands the questions and answers to life's fundamental questions. You understand that you are more than your physical body, and that you made a deliberate decision to have a life incarnation on Earth. From a young age, you need to be exposed to different ideas, belief systems, and cultures. You need exposure to flexibility and tolerance. So quiet. What does quiet mean for a spiritual mystic? The spiritual mystic has a deep need for time and space to recuperate after busyness and interacting with others. Quiet time alone, doing things by yourself and doing whatever you want is very rejuvenating for you. You need time to reconnect with source energy and deeply understand your own connection to source energy. Meditation and prayer are vital for you and for your well-being. If you hide out at home, there's usually nothing wrong with you. You just need to regroup, recharge, and reflect. You may find escape in fiction and magical stories that captivate you. You love your own home and your own space, and it's very important that this is calm and organized. You can sometimes be difficult to get to know. You are not antisocial, just discriminating about who you will share your time with. So more spiritual mystic tools, some light switch questions. So these are questions to ask yourself to actively engage your spiritual mystic. What am I getting through my connection? Ponder that. Am I properly connected? Another great question. So an RX, prescriptive action that you can take to trigger your spiritual mystic? Decide what you believe in. Make time every day to connect. So, spiritual mystic in a nutshell. Enlightened, beliefs, quiet. Superpower, extrasensory perception. Spiritual, observer, wise, faith, explorer. And some lovely souls that shared their life's experience with us as famous people who have passed over. Bob Marley lived a life as a spiritual mystic. Natalie Cole did. David Bowie and Robin Williams, spectacular, were spiritual mystics. How exciting. So I just read The Understanding of a Spiritual Mystic, LightPath. Now I'm going to read The Understanding of the Dark Side of a Spiritual Mystic Path. So in remembering, the dark path is a mastered skill, something you are very familiar with that has a been there, done that energy about it, and often feels unfulfilling and frustrating. Dark paths are a continuum, and you are just as likely to connect with light paths as the dark path. The dark path description gives you the full picture, but you won't necessarily be this person. Be aware of those things that occur regularly that you need to work on. As a dark spiritual mystic, you're just as likely to enlighten others, have firm beliefs, and need quiet. All of the light path characteristics. As you do take on the collapsing, as you are to take on the collapsing behavior. Correction there. So who is the dark path spiritual mystic? The core energy of the dark spiritual mystic is being judgmental, superior, and arrogant. You are intolerant and unwilling to accept the beliefs of others and are dogmatic about your own beliefs. I am judgmental and unwilling to accept the beliefs of others. I hold others to a different standard and expect them to accept my beliefs. I am dogmatic about beliefs and unable to consider another's point of view. I am arrogant about my own beliefs and am certain that I am a superior human being to you. I have a don't do as I do, as I say mentality. I easily neglect others in my life because God said so. Taking care of those who believe as I do, my congregation or group, is much more important than taking care of my family. I lose perspective on life and forget that it is a physical life and not all about my spiritual agenda. So other negative characteristics. I have no real friends as I am intolerant and usually watch others to see if they are doing something wrong. or acting outside of my rigid belief system. I don't tolerate superficial interactions and don't like to talk about anything else except my beliefs and how to punish those who don't follow them. I don't allow others in and am hard to get to know. Some other dark path characteristics. Judgmental, difficulty living in the here and now, intolerant, can't tolerate small talk, like to punish those who don't follow my beliefs, unable to consider another's point of view, no real friends, unwilling to accept beliefs of others, arrogant, superior. Some more pieces of the dark path puzzle for a spiritual mystic. So the need for a dark path mystic, need to feel that own beliefs are the only ones that are right. Needing to feel understood. There is an antidote. Be open-minded and accepting. Don't judge others' religious and spiritual beliefs. There's dark fear. What if what I believe in isn't right? I fear that your beliefs may be right. I can never do enough to get to heaven. Dark path identity. I am wrong. Dark path subconscious reaction. My beliefs are always right. So seeing the difference from the light path of a spiritual mystic to the dark path of a spiritual mystic. Mystics are amazing, great spiritual teachers. They honor us by sharing their spiritual exploration, and they have done the work. So listening to a spiritual mystic share a story and their beliefs is always so interesting to hear.